Hi, everyone. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate you joining today. For those who don't know me, welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. And for those friendly faces, great to see you again. To add a bit of context, my name is Francesca Conte. I lead the acceleration and incubation efforts at CVVC. We're a world-class team with a truly global presence, and it's with great excitement and delight that I present to you today these five fantastic founders that are building truly the next wave of innovation on the continent of Africa and beyond. Just to provide some context for today, I'm going to drop in a link in the chat. So this will give you a great overview in terms of the cohort here today. We have something for everyone, essentially, from DeSci to DeFi to infrastructure. So truly everything that is on the sphere and what we're looking towards. Just to give you an overview of the teams we've been working with, it's been a 6-month process in which we've gotten down to brass tacks. For the teams mentioned here today on the call, all of which have open rounds that are currently raising at pre-seed and seed. You'll hear from them today further on, but without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jared Kennedy. Now, Jared is the head of investments on the Africa side at CVVC, and he'll be saying a few short words. Jared.
Thank you, Fran. Good afternoon, ladies and gents, and great to be here with you today. So, as noted, my name is Jared Kennedy. I'm part of the investment team at CVVC. We are a global early stage investor in the blockchain ecosystem. We've done about 80 investments to date in that sphere, and around 20 of those have been on the African continent. We really are big believers in the utility of blockchain technology and see that coming to the fore through our investment strategy in 3 verticals. Firstly, we look at the infrastructure layer within the blockchain ecosystem. Secondly, we normally look at the applications that are built on top of that infrastructure, and I think you'll see good examples of that today in this demo. And finally, we often look at service providers that are servicing the blockchain ecosystem. I think most notably on the African continent, it really shines through in how clear the utility of blockchain tech really is. And we see that catalyzing across 3 key themes. First of all, we look at fintech and its adjacencies, which I think is a well-known venture vertical within the African continent. And we see extreme impact that blockchain is having within that vertical. Second of all, we look at big data and AI and how that plays into the next generation of AI outputs for the African continent. And finally, we look at the next generation of financial infrastructure. We all know that there's a big deficit in Africa with regards to infrastructure, and we see blockchain tech providing really novel solutions for these problems. You will see all of those themes on full display here today across these 5 fantastic teams as they build to solve some of the continent's largest problems. It's been an absolute pleasure to work alongside Lisk as part of this program. A really great team that we've had the chance to partner with. And just to say thank you to the team for all the fantastic work that they are doing on the African continent in furthering the aspirations of the builders and entrepreneurs that are solving these mega problems that we see on the continent. So thank you very much to the Lisk team for being here and for the journey that we have walked so far. I look very forward to hearing what the teams have to say, and back to you, Francesca. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jared. That will get us started officially on the Lisk Incubation Africa Demo Day. A few quick words from our trusted partner on the Lisk and Chidimam, if you would like to present first. Chidimam is the ecosystem lead Africa at Lisk.
All right, awesome. Hi, Francesca. Thank you for that intro. Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. I am Chidubem, the ecosystem lead for Lisk in Africa. It's been an absolute pleasure working with the CV Labs team on this second cohort. Over the last 4 months, I think it's been incredible just like watching the founders, strengthen their products, refine, collaborate with other founders, build out in other markets. And the collaboration here has been like extremely seamless. Something that we are very aware of in emerging markets is just how they are incredible opportunities, but like the support is still building, right? And the list at Lisk, we're very, very privileged and honored to essentially just be like accelerating that support in emerging markets. So beyond the curriculum, some of these founders who are presenting here today have actually joined us across like different programs, right? Very recently, the Lisk Founders Residency in Argentina. We also had On the Ground with Lisk in Kenya, with some media and some founders and investors. And all of these things is essentially just for us to be able to provide more access to global networks and media and amplification and investors for all of these founders, but ultimately they're the ones who are building out the products, right? They're the ones who are essentially enabling millions to come on chain. They're the ones who are building out these use cases across, payments and infrastructure and credits and healthcare. So yeah, it's a pleasure for us to support. Thank you to the team and congrats having made it this far. And good luck on your presentation today.
Thank you, Chidvam. I appreciate your kind words. And last but not least, we'll leave the floor to Gideon, who is the managing partner of investments at Lisk. Gideon, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Francesca and the CV Labs team. I'm joining, as you can see, from a cab. I just had a short trip overseas, so on the way back home. So excuse jumping in on the cell phone, but very excited to see some of the projects and watch how they've managed to progress. We're fortunate enough to have had very close interaction with the CV Labs team, as well as the projects and startups that have been in the cohort throughout the past couple of months, and we've seen how they've managed to improve the articulation of their pitch, as well as get a lot more traction and become more investable. We're also very excited about the quality of the projects that have come out of the cohort. So big ups to CV Labs and the team across the whole CVVC ecosystem. We had a fantastic experience working with you guys, and we're excited to close things off today, and good luck to all the projects. From our side at Lisk, just a quick mention of some updates and exciting things that's happened over the course of this year. We took the strategic decision to move away from just being known as an L2, but and pivot to more of a larger comprehensive growth platform focusing on Web3 startups in emerging markets. So whilst Lisk as a layer 2 is still thriving, we're focusing on bringing out a lot of other products and services to drive Web3 growth within the startup ecosystem, specifically in Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America. And the first product to launch out of that new narrative was the Empower Fund, as well as the Lisk DAO Fund. So we launched two new funds this year. The DAO Fund is a $2 million fund that will invest in earlier stage projects, pre-seed and post-incubation. Check sizes will be between 25 and 50K. And then we launched a larger fund, investing $250,000 into seed stage projects across that emerging market belt that I mentioned earlier. And many more exciting products launching out of the Lisk ecosystem towards next year. The fund currently has 4 portfolio companies. We aim to double that by early next year. And the DAO fund will start deploying very soon as well, which will take place of a lot of the grants that we used to issue, and wanting to more have skin in the game with all the startups on their journey. So thanks everybody for driving this process and for a great cohort, and looking forward to seeing the projects today. Thanks everyone.
Thanks, Gideon. Appreciate those kind words. Once again, you will see for those joining today in the chat an opportunity to learn more about the cohort and get in touch with them directly. So this link and landing page gives a nice overview of what the 5 teams are building and how to get into contact directly with them via type form that's embedded there. Without further ado, I'd like to pass it on to my colleague, Jordan, who will be kickstarting the presentations. Jordan.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining. And as mentioned, we're joined by 5 amazing startups. And kicking us off today is Azza. They're building the most accessible stablecoin bank. The floor is yours.
All right, thanks everyone. Just please confirm if you can see my screen clearly. Oh, good. All right, so my name is Tochukwu. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Azza, and Azza is a water-based stablecoin neobank. So, to give a context about the markets, like in 2023, Africa saw a stablecoin and crypto volume of $117 billion. And in about 2 years, that number has gone up 75% to around 205 billion. So these numbers show really, really high adoption in the African region for stablecoins. But like there's still key problems with payments in Africa. So with 54 countries and different jurisdictions and 42 currencies, payments along the African borders are slow, they're expensive, and there's very low accessibility. To give more context, to go from Nigeria to Ghana takes about a 1 hour flight, but Naira is not spendable in Ghana or Kenya or any other African country for that matter. And this problem actually makes a lot of people now choose to use stable coins for payments. So to basically go from stable coins to cash takes somewhere around 30 minutes on major P2P exchanges, which is what a lot of people are very used to. And there's still so much risks associated with P2P fraud in general. So this year alone, $405 billion has been lost in fraudulent P2P transactions in Africa. And at least 10% of all these transactions actually end up in dispute or actual fraud cases. And that's the reason why we decided to build as the fastest, easiest, and safest way to spend stablecoins in Africa, and it's built right into WhatsApp, where our users currently live their lives. WhatsApp currently has 320 million users in Africa, to give more context to the market. So with other users can basically use stablecoins to make payments across different countries. So currently Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa, and Argentina. And you can also do this payment instantly. And to also make sure that we're giving the best possible experience and security, we also make sure that we do our payouts through secure and insured partners, maintaining a very good user experience. So the other team, I and my co-founders have basically been building for the last 5 years. We basically built compliant on and off-ramp rails across Africa suites for companies such as the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And we're basically bringing all this of experience into building one single application today, which is AZA. And seen 9,000 plus users onboarded, and we've also seen like a 21% month-on-month growth rate with our user count. And till date, we've processed $6 million plus in transactions and been able to launch in 4 countries. And this month actually made it 5 countries, so which is Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. And just last 2 weeks, we were able to launch in Argentina as well. And to be able to our fast and viral organic growth has basically been key to these 3 things. So community activations has been really key for us. Word of mouth, which the product basically sells itself, and then founder-based marketing. And we're able to do all of this and achieve all this growth with almost zero marketing spent. And we have a lot of social proof out there. So we have a lot of good reviews on the product, and we'll be seeing more and more coming out every day. We basically make money with transaction fees and transaction and fee margins. So we charge a 1% transaction fee for on-ramps and off-ramps, and a 0.5% transaction fee for crypto swaps and bridging. Then we also make a little spread of our fees. So we also excel at the most important things for us. So number one is building for non-crypto users, and also basically time to onboard, which is building the best possible user experience and limiting the barrier for entry. And then the last thing, which is very key for us, is also supporting as many African currencies as we can. So with the remaining month in the year, we're basically going to focus on establishing our market dominance in Western Africa. And then next year, we're going to focus on growing the community, expanding into more countries, and also seeing how we can make other a sellable B2B product. We're raising a $500,000 pre-seed, and we're basically going to use these funds to supercharge marketing, increase our liquidity across board, also develop the technology further, and make sure that our operations and compliance are also set for the next possible years. And with all of this, by 10xing our communities, doing some paid advertisement, and also exploring B2B and channel partnerships, we're very poised that AZA is going to become Africa's billion-dollar stablecoin bank, serving at least 500,000 users in the next 2 years. And I'm just going to jump to a quick demo. So basically this 2 minutes plus demo is basically going to show the basic things that your users use AZA for on a day-to-day basis. So in order to make a payment to a simple bank account in Nigeria, all user needs to do is just prompt to pay on WhatsApp directly, in any language, of course. So since it's AI powered, it's able to understand natural language. So I just need to put in my PIN, and that's it. The transaction is basically confirmed instantly and delivered right on the spot. And this is for people who want to use stablecoins to basically do payouts across any of the currencies we currently support. And then on the other hand, you can also send USDT and USDC stablecoins to any phone number out there on Azure. All you just need to do is prompt as usual, send 3 USDT on Lisk to the phone number, and it's also confirmed and delivered instantly. And you can also on-ramp as well. So basically being able to fund your wallet by buying stablecoins with local currency. So with this, I'm just going to prompt my prompt Azure to basically buy USDC using Naira. So it would work differently with like some other currencies like shillings and rands, but this is the way it basically works for Naira. So all users need to do is enter the prompt, select the currency they want to buy with, and they'll get a one-time account number generated for them to make payments to, and these payments are basically confirmed right on the spot. So after the exit amount is paid to the account number, the payment is basically confirmed right on the spot, and the stablecoin is sent to the users as a wallet or external wallet. So users also able to use Azure to basically like monitor real-time rates across these different currencies we support. And as a bank would also be able to generate good account statements for any purpose at all. Basically, this tracks your spending across all your transactions across all the fiat currencies you're transacting in, and all the user stable coins that you're also spending in. So basically, this is what Azure can do and more. Thank you very much, guys.
Fantastic job. Amazing, amazing job on the demo as well. You know, stablecoins are such a hot topic right now. But next on the list, we have Swahilis. So Swahilis is a bookkeeping and payment app for African SMEs. Knock them dead.
Hello, my name is Mohammed. I am from Swahilis. We are currently based in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and we are building Swahilis, the bookkeeping and payment app for African SMEs. Let me start with a reality check that many African entrepreneurs live every day. Across the continent, millions of SMEs power the economies. They are the source of jobs, they create employment, they support families and drive innovation. Yet they remain financially excluded and underserved. Here is the hard truth. SMEs are forced to borrow money with interest rates high up to 20% per month, not annual. This is because they have no history, no books, no records. That's the cost of being invisible in the formal financial system. It doesn't end there. When these businesses try to grow across borders, they hit another wall. Cross-border payments in Africa is quite expensive, and SMEs are being charged up to 12% in transaction fees because they rely on informal agents to facilitate these payments, and they have no access to formal banking and the scarcity of dollar. Let me take you on the real ground and see how it happens right now with an SME wanting to pay a supplier in China. Hello, Farida.
Okay.
Ambo.
Or
Mm-hmm.
can I know the rate today?
Where are you wanting to send the money? Is it to India or China?
China.
1 yuan is equal to 360 ZDs.
Can you make it really precise?
It's very low. Let's do 358.
357.
No, 358. If 57, let me check with other agents and I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now that is not a one-time thing. That is an SME in Kariako wanting to pay a supplier in China. They have to call multiple agents and negotiate with them rates and send money and wait for these agents to facilitate payments. On the right-hand side, it's a simple conversation of WhatsApp between a local SME and an agent who is an informal agent who are facilitating payments to China through Alipay. You can see they have deposited local fiat currency and they wait for the agent to deposit a respective amount in the supplier account. Sometimes this happens, sometimes these SMEs lose money because this is not regulated, it's insecure, and there is no traceability. How are we solving these problems? Because SMEs are forced to stay small and are stuck because of this. At Swahilis, we've unified business management, cross-border payments, and lending for African SMEs. So we have built an application where they can access all these services through a simple interface. Let me walk to you step by step on how these SMEs are being able to actually access business management, cross-border payments, and lending from a simple mobile application. Now, here it how it works. We begin by digitizing these SMEs. We offer them tools where they can manage their inventory, they manage their staff, debts, and expenses. And from there, we are offering them an access to a banking platform where they can create a bank account, which they can accept money, they can pay and send money anywhere in the world. Aggregating business information and payments data, we are able to create creditworthiness for these SMEs and to be able to facilitate them to acquire and access loans from our partner lenders. Now, remember Farida. This is how we've helped Farida right now. When Farida wants to pay a supplier in China right now, they do not have to call an agent to get the rate. They do not have to call an agent and wait for them to facilitate the payment. Through a mobile application, they can fund fiat currency. This is Tanzanian shillings, and we convert it through our partners, where we change this to stable coins. I will present the demo at the end of the pitch. And afterwards, Farida can send money to any supplier in the world they want. Through our liquidity partners, we are able to send to them stablecoins instantly, and they facilitate conversion and pay these suppliers in respective markets. The problem is huge, and the market opportunity is big. It is approximated to be around $659 billion market opportunity as of 2025, and this is projected to hit $1 trillion in the next 10 years. On the part of cross-border payments, annually, Africa are processing more than $329 billion, and on the credit gap is $330 billion, all with a growth rate of above 6%. Now, how do we capture value in this large market? Our business model is diversified and built for scale. On the part of business management, we are charging these SMEs a fixed flat rate of amount $4 per month. And on the part of FX, we are earning 1% on FX markup. And the part of loans, we are earning a 1% interest on commission, where for every loan disbursed by our lending partner, they offer us 1%, where 0.5% is upon disbursal and 0.5% is after the loan is fully recovered. So, in terms of competition, Swahili has a great competitive advantage, unlike the existing traditional incumbent banks and other providers of bookkeeping payments. We are enabling these SMEs to have instant payments across markets through leveraging stablecoins, and also we are leveraging their business data. From payments and bookkeeping, we are able to build a data engine where they can access loans from any bank or financial institution instantly that we have partnered with. This enables us to give a competitive advantage, and this has proven true, given our traction to date. We have been able to get more than 1,200 paying SMEs, and over the last 10 months, we have enabled them to process more than $800,000. And only this to say, over the last 3 months, we have begun piloting cross-border payments, and 80% of our TPV has been from facilitating cross-border payments through using stablecoins. And we have more than 5,000 of SMEs on the wait list looking to actually facilitate payments on their behalf to pay their suppliers. And this is just the beginning. This is not the end. Over the next 12 months, we are looking to get more than 5,000 paying SMEs and to be able to generate 700,000 in terms of annual recurring revenue, process $36 million, and to have a loan book size of $6 million. How are we going to get there? Here's a step-by-step over the next 12 months. We are looking to build, and we have built a prototype facilitating our SMEs to do these cross-border payments. We have applied for a payment license from the Bank of Tanzania to be compliant, and upon arrival, we shall launch multi-currency wallet for these SMEs. And we're looking to build a decentralized SME credit identity for SMEs and to build the credit score so that they can easily and quickly access loans from our partner lenders. To achieve that, we require a great team of experience, resilience, and strongness. Our team is a combined experience of more than 20 years in building fintech products, technology, and working in microfinance institutions. To achieve all that growth, we are raising capital. We are raising $250,000 to build our credit engine, expand into Zambia by leveraging SPAN partnership, acquire payment license from the Bank of Tanzania, expand our development team, and to support FX settlement in terms of float. Join us today into building the operating and financial system for 100 million African SMEs. And here is the demo of what we have actually built to enable SMEs to instantly pay their suppliers by leveraging stablecoins.
Here's a quick demonstration of our mobile application. So let's say I have funds maybe in stablecoins or local currency here in Tanzania. So I have multiple options. First, I can deposit them to mobile money or bank account, where behind the scene they will be converted into stablecoins and be paid to my supplier in their country. So in this demonstration, I will demonstrate how to deposit stablecoins through Lisk network and then pay my supplier in their local currency. So first thing, I'll come here and select the network that I want to send. So we support multiple networks. But for now, I will use Lisk. So I'll come here and copy my address. Then I'll come here in my MetaMask where I see I have some USDC that I want to pay my supplier. So this is my address. We can also verify here that currently it has $0.6, which is the balance demonstrated here. So I'll come here and send them. So I'll paste my address and I want to send my transaction. The $4, and I can come if I can see it has already been created in my account. So from here, I have an ability to pay my supplier in the destination that I want. So let's say I want to pay my supplier who is in Nigeria. So I'll just click here. I can add a new supplier, or I can select that I have already sent money before. So let's say I want to send money to this supplier, and I choose maybe $35 for this demonstration. So based on the later of that day, I can see the conversion from USD to Naira shillings. So which means behind the scene, my stablecoins will be converted to USD and be paid to my supplier. So I'll just come here and confirm be notified of my transaction. So I can also see that I have my transaction. So for this demonstration, I can also see here is my partner portal where I can view lesson transaction that I've done. I can also see here that I have a transaction that I recently initiated here that is in a processing status.
Yeah, that is a simple demonstrations of what we have built. And thank you and welcome at Swahili's.
Well, thank you very much for that and that lovely demo at the end. Next up, we have Remitties. So Remitties is an AI blockchain remittance service helping individuals and businesses cut cross-border fees and delays. Building something really, really special on the Africa continent. Noble, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Let me just share my screen quickly. All right. Let me just make this full screen. All right, amazing. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to present what we're currently building at Remitties. Now, to reiterate why this is such a burning passion for us at Team Remitties, I'd like to relay it through a very personal story, right? For context, we're a very scattered family across the world. Some people are in Zimbabwe, some are in South Africa, Botswana, the UK, you name it. And sometimes the best way to support one another is through finances. And when it comes to finances, which is supposed to be easy, we find it very difficult. We battle between phone numbers, bank account numbers, reference numbers, you name it. And this one time, we really needed to send money urgently to a family member that needed it. It wasn't luxury money, but it was survival money. And what really hit me wasn't just the fees that we experienced. It was the feeling that we're being excluded from fair finance. And when you look at it, sometimes you just pay, you wait, and pray for the funds to arrive on time. And if they don't, you're absolutely powerless. Hi, my name is Noble, founder and CEO of Remitties, and we're building the first remittance platform without the remittance tax, ensuring that you have fast, affordable, and Africa-first transfers. Now, what is the remittance tax? It's a nearly $1 trillion problem that is hiding in plain sight. In fact, when you look at reality, people think that remittances have been solved. But the truth is, we're still suffering from remittance tax through the form of fees, delays, and hidden FX charges. Now, let's just do the brutal maths for a second. When you look at sub-Saharan Africa alone, we record the highest fees on every $100 cent of 8.4%. And when you think you've run away from the costs after that, you then charged another hidden cost of FX charges of 1 to 3% or even more when you're transacting. And let's not forget the worst part of it, which is the delays. Sometimes it can take 2 to 5 days and sometimes even weeks. I've experienced that myself. Now, it's clearly seen that we are completely excluded and underserved in this huge market. But just by targeting the SADC region and a few other expansive corridors such as Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya, we can ensure that Remitties has the perfect launchpad to launch our platform to the market. But why now? The question is, why is this the perfect time for us to actually launch RemitEase? Well, we've seen better rails. We've seen blockchain technology being completely iterated to ensure that instant transfers are absolutely possible and cheap transfers are absolutely possible. And for the first time, we can actually charge 1% on every transfer. Mobile money penetration is an all-time high, with over 55% of sub-Saharan African adults having access to mobile money, ensuring that we have multiple cash-out options on our platform. And of course, lastly, our embedded distribution through partnerships and other platforms that ensure that customers have actual seamless transactions while they're actually earning. Now, how does it work? We know that people deserve Web3 technology and Web3 power, but they also deserve something that is very easy to use. That's why we completely revamped our platform to ensure that it's something familiar for people to use. You simply deposit your funds, and there's no wallet addresses, there's no blockchain block explorers, you name it. It's just a simple user interface with multiple cash out options to use. Now, for our startup, we've had absolutely great traction up to date, and we're about to launch our platform. But before that, we've actually grown our community at 100x to over 4,000 people across Discord, X, and other waitlists. On top of that, we've grown our user accounts on the mainnet to over 2,000 in just 2 weeks of our pre-launch campaign. And the best part of it, we have B2B clients that continue to grow by the day, over 15 of them ready to launch with us on launch date, which gives us an instant access to over 100,000 users at launch of RemitEase. Now, we haven't stopped there. We've been building our trust and our partnership network, not only here in South Africa, but across the African continent, which is instantly helps us with our technical infrastructure as well as our revenue generation. And when it comes to the revenue generation, we're currently charging just 1% on transaction fees and a fraction of a percentage on FX spreads, which ensures that users can actually benefit from our platform without spending too much money. And here's why we win. We've looked at our competitors, we've studied them, we've used their platforms, and we've realized all of their weaknesses are solved in RemitEase. Our pricing is simple and cheap, our costs are upfront and transparent, and our distribution network is massive and absolutely flexible. But we know that there are risks. As a startup, we've ensured that we have multiple partnerships to ensure that our uptime is at an all-time high. FX volatility is hedged through stablecoins, and also fraud is being hedged through our compliance and also partnership-ready compliance infrastructure that we continue to implement within RemitEase. Our go-to-market strategy has been embedded in how we've been operating so far. We primarily target B2B partnerships to ensure that our cost of customer acquisition is at all-time low while we're accessing multiple customers in one go. And of course, we know that community groups are where remittances actually start. That's why we're growing our WhatsApp groups, our Discord, our X, where remittances actually start for people. On top of that, we will be ensuring that we have multiple digital acquisition strategies to ensure that we grow into different regions. Over the next 18 months, we've split our roadmap into 4 phases. Phase 1, which is what we're currently in, which is the go live phase, which helps us to tackle 3 to 5 corridors at launch and ensuring that we can actually expand very rapidly. Phase 2 is where we reiterate our unit economics, and also phase 3, which is absolutely important, where we unlock new revenue streams through our API calls. In phase 4, fundraising phase. And we have the team that is perfect for doing just that. We have an overwhelming experience in the space. I'm not a first-time founder. I've built startups that have scaled here in South Africa that have been backed by some of the largest organizations such as Google and SAB Foundation. Ryan himself is a fintech and Web3 specialist that really helps us with the operations and the internal operations of RemitEase. John, on the other hand, is a serial founder as well, who has opened startups in Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa, which is very pivotal for our actual go-to-market strategy. We're currently raising a $500,000 pre-seed round, which then unlocks different facets of RemitEase to ensure that we have a good launchpad, we build our trust, we build our rails, and we ensure that everything is absolutely audited and completely secure. And of course, this will then help us to go to Series A readiness. And our funds will split it into 40% growth and engineering, 25% operations, 20% both market and 15% legal and compliance. What have we seen from Remit Ease? We've seen already from our traction that the customers are there and the customers are waiting. So let's build the first affordable remittance platform where we can see prices that are reliable and trustworthy in corridors that truly matter. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing job. Next up on the list, we have Lifeline, a bit of a DeSci approach to the cohort. So Lifeline is a platform taking health costs to near zero with automated insurance claims. Knocked him dead.
Oh, hey everybody. Just want to confirm, can you guys hear me? Solid. So yeah, just want to confirm my screen is visible. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we're ready for you.
Okay, sorry. So hello everybody. My name is King and I'm from Lifeline, and we actually reduce the cost of healthcare drastically by profiting from stablecoins as well as automating insurance claims globally. So I'm actually going to walk us through the problem statement. But first of all, why did I even start this company in the first place? You see, during my college days in East Africa, particularly Rwanda, I once went to a pharmacy and they had the medication I needed, but I'm sorry, King, we don't actually support your insurance here. Now, the crazy thing is that the next pharmacy supports my insurance, but they don't actually have the medication I needed. And it's so sad that I'm actually sharing this problem with at least 500,000 Rwandans who are actually dealing with individual health crisis. And in general, 95% of Africans cannot afford or access any type of insurance. And as we can actually see here, this is actually a global problem that's actually costing millions of lives as well as trillions of dollars in economic in economic loss. So basically, what is my problem statement here? Getting access to life-saving medication and clinical appointments in emergencies on the continent is a life-threatening challenge. Affordability is a barrier for many patients who are trying to manage their health expenses. Ladies and gentlemen, we actually need to understand that accessibility and affordability are two very different things. Because you can access something doesn't necessarily mean you can afford it. And millions of people are struggling to keep accurate record of their pharmaceutical and clinical data without relying on third-party institutions like pharmacies, insurance companies, and hospitals. And with that, what is our solution? I present you Lifeline. This is actually software that were built, an app that actually reduces the cost of healthcare, particularly in medication and clinical appointments, by nearly zero, by actually allowing people yield stable coins and using the interest to actually afford healthcare globally, as well as helping insurance companies automate insurance claims, bringing down the cost drastically. And this is actually how it works. So first of all, we don't just help you find random pharmacies or hospitals. We help you find specific medications and appointments in certain regions. With the power of AI, we also profit from stable coins where users can actually yield these stable coins, and at the end of the month, they actually earn a 5% profit, and they can actually use it to actually access healthcare globally. And at the same time, we're also the first on the continent to allow people use their existing insurance to access healthcare worldwide. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, why spend money on healthcare when you have insurance? It doesn't make sense. Imagine a world whereby you can actually travel to a different country and use your insurance from your home country to actually cover your health in the new country you've gone to without spending money on travel insurance or a totally new insurance. For those of us that actually travel a lot, this is actually going to save us hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And at the same time, we also do insurance brokerage where we help our insurance partners sell premiums to users on our platform that don't even have insurance at all. And this attraction so far, we launched Lifeline officially to the public like 3 months ago, and we actually hit #1 on the App Store for like a month straight. We have done over 3,000 transactions, over 200 insurance claims have been processed. We are certified in Rwanda, and we currently have a couple of providers from 4 countries. And we actually work with amazing partners in logistics, insurance, and as well as payments. So how we actually make money right now is we actually charge a 5% commission from healthcare providers, as well as a 5% interest, a 5% commission, on yielding your stable coins. And in the future, we're also looking at utilizing insurance claim processing globally via an API, which actually costs 50 cents, and also selling a SaaS tool for healthcare providers to actually expand their reach as well as their services. So our market is quite big worldwide. Healthcare is worth over 9 trillion, but for East Africa, where we actually started alone, is worth over 8 billion. And we actually plan on expanding to Latin America as well as Europe and North America by partnering with more insurance companies, which actually have millions of users worldwide, as well as becoming mini app in decentralized solutions to like World App, Farcaster, as well as MiniPay. In fact, we're currently in talks with Cello right now to actually launch Lifeline as the mini app on MiniPay, which should be happening like in January. So what really makes us know everything accessible is affordable. That's why we allow you to use multiple insurances to access healthcare. And we also cater for the 95% of the African population that can't even afford any type of insurance by launching a subscription to actually give them basic coverage for things like medications and appointment. We also use data management and recording on Lisk to actually improve healthcare privacy and transparency. And we also are the first on the continent to actually help healthcare providers and also help users earn interest via yields. So this is my team. We are 5 of us in the company. We 2 times founder who has actually raised money in the past. We have Favor, who is actually a blockchain engineer that has been in the game for about 5 years now and has actually worked on projects that have done over 200 million in transactions. And we have Sandy, who is a software engineer for the past 7 years. And this guy's been writing code before ChatGPT even became a thing. So you can be very much assured that we actually know what we're doing as a company. So we're trying to raise 500K pre-seed, and we've done 150K so far. We've been part of incredible accelerators like Lisk and CV Labs, as well as been incubated by MasterCard and Carnegie Mellon. And we actually want to use this money to go from 60K revenue to 500K in revenue, as well as prepare for a $5 million seed and increase our user base. And at the same time, also make sure we're fully regulatory compliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, when the cost of health is impossible, we are your lifeline. Reach out to us on X, Instagram, Twitter, and by scanning the QR code, and help us bring healthcare providers on chain. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, King. That was great. Next up, but not least, we have Lucrit. So Lucrit is a payment affordability platform for customers via credit line. They can spend now and pay back over time.
Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Downsy. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Lucrit. And at Lucrit, we are growing Africa into the credit economy. So let me tell you a story. Let me tell you about the problem we're solving. So retail is good on the continent, but merchants still operate a cash and carry model. In fact, when you go into stores, you'll still see this big signboard that says no credit today, come tomorrow. And it's not that these merchants don't want to set you on credit, but there's a lack of sustainable system to offer credit facilities to customers. Also, customers who have difficulty purchasing this product because consumer credit can be very difficult on the continent, or even in emerging markets. This problem affected my co-founder, Emmanuel. He got a new job and he needed to change his laptop. Now, he went to the bank trying to access credit. He filled like a long form, submitted a lot of documents, did a lot of KYC, but he still got declined after 2 days. He tried online options, online loan apps, but those apps are quite predatory, and then the interest rates can be very high, as 20 to 40% APR. And then it thought of calling his mom, who was in their hometown, used their family large to learn to pledge at their cooperative before she was able to access credit to get to Manuel to change his laptop. At this point, Manuel was like 1 month into the job. He did not get the experts he wanted at this job. And because of this problem is why we built Lucrit to make payments affordable for customers through a credit line that can spend now and pay back over time. Tomorrow, we want to become a credit-led financial super app for Africans' young professionals. In 5 minutes, we want customers can access up to $500 in credit that can spread across vetted merchants on the platform, in-store, and online. The beautiful thing about Lucrit is when you get approved, you don't take the money off the platform. We've provided merchants that offer buy now pay later options and want to accept credit payments from you. So you just spend the credit you've received, you've been approved on the local platform. And so far, we've been operating in states, in an invite-only state phase. We've had over 1,500 signups. We've processed over $200,000 in transaction volume. We are licensed by the government. We've been accepted to top startup programs, and we've raised over $100,000 as for credit line from Google Microfinance. This is our business model. We charge between 48 to 60% APR, and we also charge merchants 2% commission for every transaction that they receive on the platform. Emmanuel is not enough. It's not alone. There are over 280 million Emmanuel in Africa. There's 20 million of them in Nigeria, and then we're looking to target 3 million of them in 3 to 5 years. So how are we different? Are we another loan app? No, we are not. Liquid is built on a model we call SAFD, SAFD. S is speed. We believe credit should be accessible in 5 to 10 minutes. You should get a decision. Affordable. Credit should be a tool, not a burden. Flexibility, should be able to pay with flexibility that payment should match how you earn. But then the most important part for us is data. We think data is key, and thanks to open banking, we're able to get access to customers' financial behavior, and then also the activity on the Liquid app. This helps us to build credit profile for our customers. With this credit profile, we're able to report the activity to traditional credit bureau and also our own credit data bank that we're building on the blockchain. Now, with this same data, every transaction on Liquid becomes a transaction on the blockchain, helping our customers build blockchain on-chain footprints. Also, we use this data to understand our customers better and also provide personalized financial services to them, and also help them inadvertently would provide them upward mobility at the end of the day. So customers come for credit, but they become more with on Liquid. And this is our roadmap. In the next 12 months, we want to expand to 5 more cities, launch our B2B products. With the same data, we launch our AI advisor with data that we've collected, and also launch our credit data bank on the blockchain. This is a team. We have 30 years of combined experience across industries. We've built products for like the Jumia, FCMB. We've worked in retail, banking, and we share about 30 plus years, like I said earlier, in diverse industries. Thank you. And yeah, we're raising a $250,000 safe to get us to 10,000 paying customers, 100 merchants, a smart to 5 cities, and then $250,000 in ARR. So thank you. Join us to do more with credit.
Thank you so much for that presentation. Really appreciate it. So that concludes the Lisk Incubation Africa Hub Demo Day. Dropping in the links and chat once more. For those who are interested parties in getting in touch with our teams directly, learning more about them, understanding where they're at in their fundraising journey, please use the link provided. Secondarily, I've also included my Telegram. So for those who are joining today to learn more about the cohort, where they began, where they are now, or those who are interested to learn more about CVVC, please use that forum to do so as well. So thank you, everyone. Complete pleasure to work with the 5 founders in today's demo day, and of course, with our trusted partners at Lisk. So once again, thank you for your time, and that's a wrap. Congratulations.